Active Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly. Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage will begin shortly.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you are safe wherever you are. And here we are in the thick of a very major storm across the state, probably one we haven't seen in years of this intensity. So really, those impacts are rolling in, piling up. We've got a whole lot going on across the area, a lot of power outages. I think as of last check, we were at 45,000. I will check very quickly here to see what the current power outage numbers are, but I would love to hear from you if you have power or not. It would be great to hear from you. Down to 41,000 outages right now. Let me know what you're seeing where you are. If you have power, let me know where you are. If you're seeing flooding or any damage, that would also be great to know. That would be great as well. Cheryl, hello from Turner. Hope you're hanging in there today in Turner, Cheryl. All right. Let's jump into our forecast here. We are in the thick of it right now. This is some of the worst weather we'll be seeing all day. Very heavy rain falling out there. Wind is blowing very, very hard right now, especially along the coastline. I just saw an 82 mile per hour wind gust over in New Hampshire. Thank you all. Star says she's got power in New York. Lucky you. Mary is okay in Brunswick. Great to hear it, you guys. Let's keep your power on. Let's hope that the things don't get any much worse out there. Naples has power, not too much wind. That's great to hear. Have power in Auburn, power in Sabattis. Great to hear. Good morning, Christian. Raining and very windy in Sydney. I have power. Thank you so much, Barbie. Keep those rolling in. I'd love to hear from you if you're seeing any damage as well or any street flooding, that sort of thing as well. All right, let's talk about what's going on today. As we zoom in here, you can see that heavy rain. This is some of the worst weather we're going to be seeing all day with very strong winds and very heavy rain right now. That goes through about 1 or 2 p.m. or so today with the worst conditions, still very active through the rest of the afternoon, but not quite as intense as it is out there this morning and as intense as it will be through the early afternoon here. So, of course, the wind's still blowing, rain coming down very hard. Power on and off in Camden. Thank you for that report, Rachel. Denise says Kennebunk has power. Great. Diamond Island, Cascavellas power. Hey, gotta love that. That's awesome to hear. Hardly any wind in Skowhegan. Also great to hear. Do you have any snow there, Mark? If you wouldn't mind jumping back in one more time. Camp Ellis underwater and getting worse. Johnny Maffey was live there earlier, and the views were crazy. Yeah, I expect it to get worse. High tide is still about an hour away, 40 minutes to an hour away for many of us. Power at BIW. Appleton has power. Camp Ellis Beach has power, but holy freaking wind. Exactly. And the flooding there as well. So hopefully we can keep that power on. Power out in Buxton. Brunswick has power, rain and windy gusts in Bangor. Thank you so much for all the reports. No snow. Thank you for the report as well, Mark. If there was any, it is probably long gone by now. Let's take a look at some of our peak wind gusts today. Very, very impressive. And I'm actually going to look at the Portland Jetport here as I pull up my phone to see if we've had any stronger gusts over the last half an hour or so. The peak gust I've seen so far in Portland was 52 miles per hour, but overall the highest outside of the mountains was 82 miles per hour in Rye, New Hampshire. So that is the kind of winds that we are dealing with today. A very top tier event. We never see winds this strong. So yeah, 52 miles per hour in Portland. Cape Nettic has gusted to 54 as of the last hour or so. 58 in New Harbor, 68 in Cryhaven on the island out there. In Mount Washington, gusting to 147 miles per hour so far. So just an extremely active day. My phone has been blowing up, going off nonstop all morning with all these alerts, all these different outages coming on in. So yeah, definitely a rough day out there. Hopefully all the people who still have power can keep it. People that don't have power, hopefully that can get restored ASAP here. Of course, it is Christmas weekend. Let's talk about winds. Extremely strong winds out there, gusting to 43 in Portsmouth, 38 in Portland, 36 in Wiscasset, 41 in Rockland. The great news is I haven't seen any extreme gusts so far popping up on this map. I haven't seen anything above 50 to 55 miles per hour yet. And that's when you really, really start to run into those issues out there. So of course, we're going to continue to see the winds ramping up here over the next couple hours. Already dealing with a lot of coastal problems, 40,000+ outages across the state. So plenty going on out there, a whole lot of impacts from this storm already. And we're only going to continue to see things remaining very active and getting worse. I want to bring your attention to this. If you're in the Portland area, a flash flood warning for Portland and coastal Cumberland County. And this is because as that tide comes in, it's already very high. As it comes in here over the next half hour or so, we will the rain that is coming down will not be able to properly drain, and that could easily lead to street flooding, city flooding, and some flash flooding as well. So let's please be careful if you're driving in the Portland area, and remember never to drive through any flooded roads or any, of course, overwash from the coastal areas either. I would stay away from the ocean today if I were you. It's really wild out there. All right, let's talk about winds. We've got a high wind warning in place that goes through this evening. Up to 65, even 70 mile per hour gusts are not out of the question. We saw that 82 mile per hour gust in Rye, New Hampshire. We could see more gusts in the 60s or 70s with this event here as we continue through the next couple hours here. So along the coastline, we are going to continue to see the winds really ramping up here along the coastline and remaining very active here through at least the early afternoon. So that high wind warning in place through this evening. Stay safe out there, everybody. Just a great day to just stay hunkered down in, and we'll see a little improvement this afternoon. So if you do have to get out, I would wait till this afternoon or this evening. A flood watch still in place as well. 1 to 3 inches of rain expected. We also have that flash flood warning here in Portland and a regular flood warning for coastal, or for all of York, Cumberland, Androscoggin, Kennebec, and the mid-coast as well, for that heavy rain coming down and not being able to drain due to those high tides. So please take it easy out there. Remember never to drive through flooded roads or drive over any downed wires. A lot of those probably still going to be live as well. And finally, coastal flood warning. This goes through early afternoon. High tide at 10:15. Top 5 highest tide ever seen in the city of Portland is what we are going to see with this tide. Commercial Street already flooding, likely to be completely underwater at high tide. I would stay away from the coastline if at all possible, at least over the next couple hours. If you can. Rain in Bridgeton, no winds. Thank you for the comment, Lynn. Gladys, heavy rain in Lewiston and very windy. Thanks for the report. Western Mountain, heavy rain and sleet. Ugh, yeah, not the best conditions out there right now. Rain in Wayne, very windy in Appleton. Biddeford has power. Thanks for letting me know. Power in Jay, heavy rain. Raymond, Route 85 has power. Thank you for all your reports, everybody. I so appreciate those. It's great to know what you guys are experiencing, seeing, and hearing all across the area. And if you step outside, you can hear the wind just roaring above your heads, even if you're not getting particularly strong gusts at that moment in time. This is the craziest part I think about today. A hurricane force wind warning for our offshore waters. That's why we've had gusts up to 80 miles per hour. We could continue to see those very strong gusts. This is issued about once every decade or so. So this is a once in every few years to every decade storm here. Not something we see often. This is not just your run-of-the-mill rain and wind. That's why we're seeing all these big impacts, just such intense wind over such a long duration today. That's why we're having so many issues. So please stay away from the ocean if you can. A lot of overwash, of course, a lot of danger with those large waves flooding on shore. And of course, probably not a good idea to be out on a boat in the ocean. All right, the rain continuing through the rest of the morning. Worst conditions 10 a.m. or so to about noon to 1 p.m. Some gradual improvements this afternoon. It won't get instantly better this afternoon. We'll still see very strong winds out there, but gradually as we head through the afternoon hours, winds should be slowly tapering off as we head into the evening hours. So here we are, 4 p.m., still seeing rain, still seeing wind, but it won't be as extreme as it is right now. So just now, through the next few hours, if we can make it through that, we should have made it through the worst of this storm. As we head into this evening, this is also another threat with this storm. An Arctic cold front moving in, temperatures plummeting from the 50s down to the 20s in a matter of hours, and even the teens as well. We're likely to see some flash freezing. Any lingering moisture on the roads, any puddles will probably quickly freeze over. We will also likely see a brief coating of snow with some snow squalls with this, which will also make roads very slick heading into Christmas Eve morning. And it's going to get cold. We'll wake up to temperatures in the single digits and low teens out there as we head into our Saturday morning, with the winds feeling like the single digits to teens below zero. So really going to be quite frigid out there Christmas Eve morning. Let's talk winds. Gusts up to 65 to even 70 miles per hour, not out of the question at the coast. We'll continue to see the winds staying very strong here through the early afternoon, gradually tapering off a bit towards the evening. Still very gusty, though, gusting up to 50 miles per hour, but just not as extreme as the winds are right now. Now is the worst of it through, like I mentioned, 1 to 2 p.m. or so. Still very windy after that, just not as extreme as what we're seeing now through about 1 to 2. Winds remain blustery overnight and into Saturday as well. That's what's going to help us feel so cold out there tomorrow. And like I mentioned, it's not going to be extreme winds tomorrow, not damaging winds, but it's going to put a damper on people getting power restored with the winds remaining active. It's going to be hard for them to go up in those line trucks. Winds do finally die down heading into Christmas Day, not looking nearly as bad out there on Sunday. So let's take a look at our Christmas weekend forecast. Today, of course, the nastiest day, not a great travel day at all. If you can avoid the travel, it would probably be a good idea. Windy tomorrow. I know my thoughts are with the CMP workers as well, Jocelyn. I hope we're all thinking about them. I'm sure this is just the worst timing right around the holiday weekend here. But Christmas Eve, highs in the teens or low 20s, feeling like the teens to single digits below zero or just the single digits all day tomorrow. So really going to be quite cold out there, and without power, that becomes a big concern. So if you have elderly neighbors or relatives or someone that you know in your neighborhood that may be without power, if you lose power, not a bad idea to go and check on them. Sunday is a lot quieter of a day. The winds finally died down. It will still be cold, just not nearly as bad out there. I want to show you this map. Watch how quickly our temperatures drop. Here we are, 7 a.m. tomorrow, feeling like -5 to -15 out there. Yeah, it's going to be really cold on Christmas Eve. And just, I mean, amazing. We're in the 50s now in many spots, going to the single digits in low teens by tomorrow morning. This is really just going to be something to behold here. All right. Quick look at our 7-day forecast. Remaining cold all day tomorrow in the single digits is what it will feel like all Christmas Eve. And a quick look at our 7-day forecast, remaining fairly quiet next week. That will give everyone a chance to get a breather, and no big storms look to be on the horizon next week either. So that is some great news, just chilly and fairly calm. Inland towns as well, seeing a calmer stretch of weather as we head into next week. There may be some snow showers on Wednesday, but of course our focus today is on that major storm. So let me pull up our current radar one last time here. I'm going to sign off here in the next few minutes. Of course, Charlie will have another live coming up in the next couple hours or so. We'll have updates for you all through the rest of the day. We'll be live at noon as well. Going to be some wild conditions out there, and I'm sure things are very wild out there right now as we approach high tide here along the coastline. I'm going to run through some of your comments first, and we'll see what you guys are saying. So lost power in Gorham. Thanks for letting me know, Bonnie. Hopefully you get that restored soon. Hope this doesn't put a damper on my Christmas Eve and Christmas Day plans. I'm sure many of you thinking the same thing. Be safe. Yep, everybody be safe out there, please. Around what time is the flash freeze expected? Great question, Carrie. 7 to 8 p.m. or so. It looks like that front will sweep through much of the area. 7 to 9 to give the window to everybody in the state. But 7 to 9 p.m. or so, we will see that plummet in temperatures, potentially some snow squalls, and a quick freeze of any moisture lingering on the ground, any puddles out there. So stay safe out there, everybody. Everybody, please. Please stay safe and don't touch downed wires, and stay away from the ocean if you can, and stay away from flooded roadways as well. We'll have updates for you all through the rest of the day today. Stay safe. Hopefully we can get power restored quickly, and many of us won't be spending Christmas Eve and Christmas Day without power. Remember, it is going to be very, very cold out there tomorrow. So stay safe, everybody. And of course, we will keep you updated here.
This has been live interactive Weather Authority coverage from CBS 13 and Fox 23. Make sure to stay connected with CBS.